What's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. I just made a video about court summons, and I had also spoke a little bit about one of my clients that he had been going through it, but I told him you got to hang in there because doing these settlements with these collections, and these were not sold. So these were companies fresh charged off, or first they were fresh accounts, and then they went into charge off status, but the credit card companies did not sell them. And I told them it's going to take time. Well, it's a little bit about 6 months later. I want to, before I get into today's information, which we're going to talk about debt collector accounts that are being sold to debt collectors right now at the price that you can see above here. But I want to just tell you the good news for him because the good news for him could eventually mean good news for you. And just to review, he had accounts that had just went bad. Now it's more than a year, but it had taken 6 months for them to charge off, and then there was a lot of back and forth, and now the settlements are finally coming through. And so let me just read off one that we one that just came through. It was original account amount was 80 was 5,200. This was the one I had talked about in my previous video. 5,200 and some change. They offered 2,300. He settled for $1,827. Another account, the original amount a little over $11,000. Settled that one yesterday for $3,800, $380.90. Settled another one, a small card that he had was $880 balance. It was a small credit card. Settled it for $285. He now, and we just text me. He said he got only 4 accounts left. When he first started with me at, I think it was 10 or 11. So now he has only 4 left. And, so now he's halfway through it. It took a year, but he's halfway through it. But now when I talk to him or he texts me or he talks to customer service, has a whole different understanding of the process, whole different attitude about going through this because at first he was thinking that you had to like you could force a settlement down the uh, creditor's throat. You can't do that. So now let's look at this one here. We got uh, these lenders up top. I'm not going to mention them because they'll flag the video, but you can see that these were credit card providers. Original balance was $5 million, 4,706 accounts. Charge off date 2008 to 2010. Average balance $1,062. So now the first thing, looking at this, and I tell people to do this over and over, but a lot of people don't follow this instruction. First thing, number one, you got to look at the statute of limitations on this. For almost every state, there's only 1 or 2 states that have a statute of limitation that's past 10 years. Only 1 or 2. And that one is like 15 years, which is unbelievable. But if it's past the statute of limitation, all you have to do is use the letter that I provide you below, and that is a statute of limitations letter. You don't need to talk about the debt. You don't need to talk about anything else. You're notifying them that you know that they're coming after you for a debt that is past the legal statute of limitation. They will stop coming after you. Now, they might try to sell it off to another debt collector, and then you got to use that letter, but you can also sue that debt collector if they do that. The next thing, if it's not past statute of limitation, which all of this is, but I'm just going through the step-by-step process of what you need to go through. If it's not past the legal statute of limitation, you need to send a cease and desist all collection activities letter. Now, I'm going to back up one quick second. How do you find out if a debt is past the legal statute of limitation? What qualifies for a debt to be past the statute of limitation? What qualifies is that it's not a judgment and that the charge off date is when the clock starts ticking. If you don't know the charge off date, you need to go and get your credit reports from a paid monitoring service. And I have a link below here. Go to the number 3scores.com. Also, you can see I got the image right here. Go there, look at the original charge off date, and from that original charge off date, that is where the clock starts ticking. If they have not contacted you, you have not made a payment. If you have not made a payment, they can try to contact you, but you have not made a payment, which a payment would mean you entered into a new agreement with the debt collector. Then the statute of limitation holds from the charge off date. But if you pay them one penny, you're resetting the clock from the date that you paid that one penny, and you've also entered into a new contract with that debt collector. So be very careful moving forward. Now, some people will tell you you shouldn't even answer the debt collector. That is a lie. Answer the debt collector. If you don't answer the debt collector, you're going to allow them to move forward, place the information on your credit reports, and then potentially get you into court with a lawsuit, and you're going to just make things worse for yourself. So if it's not past the statute of limitations to collect, you send the cease and desist collection activities letter, and that I give you that free letter below this video. Send that letter. See what happens. Read it. Read what their responses is. Send it certified if you have the funds to do that. It's only like $4 or $5. Send it certified so you have proof that they got it. Then they'll review it, and they're gonna have to make a determination if they're gonna come after you or they're gonna cease all collection activities. They don't expect you to ask them the questions that I'm giving you in that letter. If they do decide to continue coming after you, then you need to send the next letter, which is the debt validation letter. I give you the debt validation letter with the statute of limitations letter. They're both together, but you only need to use one or the other. Use that letter after you review what they say, and you need to pick apart. You need to pick apart what they're saying to make sure that they provide you everything that is asked for in that debt validation letter. What that will eventually do is it'll either get them to stop, it'll get them to hold off, or and when holding off, it'll get you into a better position to do settlements like I just mentioned for the client that I just told you about. So I want everyone to have a happy 4th of July. If you need any of our assistance, the links are below this video. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. Please subscribe to the channel. Please ask your questions, post your comments. Thank you.